Hi everyone, welcome back to another process video and thanks for joining me again today. So I am doing another double page spread and I am using the same Easter and spring collections. These are both the Doodlebug ones. They are basically together in the same kit. These are the same ones I used for the April monthly celebration videos in YouTube Hop that I've been doing. And I'm also following a sketch by Scrapbook Generations. So this sketch is from their 6x6 2 class. And I'm very curious if anybody out there has taken both their 6x6 1 and 6x6 2 class. I would love to know what you thought of the 6x6 1 compared to the 6x6 2. I never took the 6x6 1, and so I was thinking about going back and even taking the class. And I'm not even worried about the class so much part of it as it is. I just like the sketches. I really like it because I noticed I've used a lot of these, and a lot of them fit a lot of photos. But not only that, but I think you can use, it's really good for scraps, you know, so once you cut down your big 12 by 12, you don't have to worry about the sizes of your papers so much anymore, and that's one thing that I really like about it. So let me know if you've taken both those classes and if you think the one is worth the purchase too, as well as because I did take the second one, like I told you. And if anybody didn't know and would be interested in knowing, they have released their new sketchbook just recently, and so it's on pre-order for me. I am very excited. One thing I like about this sketch is you can obviously tell it just calls for 6x6 blocks, but instead of just putting all of the 6x6 blocks on the right hand page and just filling up the whole page, I think about 2 inches of it they have you cut down and put on the adjoining page, and I really like that. I feel like it just gives it a little bit of something, a little bit of added interest instead of just filling up the whole page like I mentioned. So you can see there that I have cut down I believe it's 2 inches. I don't remember the exact amount, but it looks like it's about 2 inches. And now I'm just gluing those 2 inches on the left-hand page, and I really like how that looks. So like I said, it just gives a little bit of added interest to that, and it turns out pretty good. I'm happy with the way this layout turns out. I think it turned out pretty cute. I will apologize. There are no still shot photos at the end of this video. Like I mentioned, I am just trying to get some videos ready for you guys so that I can get some videos back up on my channel, since I know I haven't been very good about that lately. But my plan for today is to finish up some journaling and to finish up and to take some photos for more videos that I have recorded. I have a good amount of videos, maybe 4 or 5 recorded, so I just need to take the photos and do the voiceovers. So hopefully I will be able to get back into the swing of things. So you can see here on the left-hand side of the page, this is basically just a photo cluster, and there's 6 photos on this page, and they call for, I think, 3 4x6 and 3 3x4s, and I really like how this page turns out. And when I was putting these photos down, I glanced over and saw this rainbow border sticker, and luckily it was the full 12 inches, so that made me very happy, and I went ahead and just put that over there because I felt like that brought all of the colors from these pattern papers that are on this side over to the left hand side, and so that worked out really perfect. I was happy with the way that looked. And not only that, but it helped give it a little bit of an edge on that side. So now I'm going to work on the right hand page, and these photos I believe are all cut to 3x3, and there is a couple spots that are, well, okay, one of the photos, I guess I should say, is cut to about 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. I'm not sure of that exact measurement. But it also had a couple spots where they had these little mats here, and I will explain in just a second. So this is the photo that's cut down from 3x3, like I said, to about 2 3/4 squared. So I'm going to go ahead and glue the photos down on this side, and it's basically just kind of like a cluster of photos, again, a collage. That's the word I was trying to think of. And right here, in that pink square that I just put down, on the sketch they have the title there, and I'm going to put all of these down, and I'm going to realize that the title that I want to use isn't going to work there. So what I'm doing now when I'm putting all these down is I'm leaving a space between or underneath that photo on the far right, and that is where they have their journaling box, which is what my plan was. But when I pull out the title here, and you can see it just says coloring eggs, I didn't want to cut the word coloring. Sometimes that bothers me and sometimes it wouldn't. I've cut my title or separated my title many times, but for some reason I just didn't really want to with this one. I think I just wasn't sure of how it would look, and I didn't want to cut it without knowing. So instead of putting my journaling in that empty space that's on the very right hand side, I'm going to just add another pink. And I was looking at different pattern papers wondering if there was a different color I could use, but I wanted to use the pink because all the background papers bring out all the other colors like the greens, the blues, and the purples, so I felt like the pink was the last one to really be represented, or that needed to be represented there, at least of the ones that I had to use. So now I'm going to move my title over there, and I like that a lot better, and my journaling is going to end up going down on that bottom pink box. And then since I added a border to the very left-hand side of the page, I decided I would go ahead and finish this side off with another border. I wanted one with a lot of rainbow, but I didn't want one that was swirly, or like you can see all those different border stickers that are on the screen. So what I did was I just used this one, and I wasn't real sure about this one, but it turns out okay. I kind of was hoping for something a little less decorative and more solid, but like I said, it turns out just fine. So I put the word eggs down, and these are just ephemera pieces that came in the ephemera pack for the Easter collection of this, and I can't remember the names of these collections, but they are the recent release from this year. And so I decided to add the word coloring on some foam tape so it helps it stand out just a little bit. And I actually really like the way that that title ends up there because it looks like it fits together just perfectly. So now I have all my photos down and I have my title down, and both pages are basically done. I'm going to go ahead and search around for stickers. Oh, and right here, I was looking for something to fill in that spot underneath the C and next to the E, just because I felt like it was kind of an empty space there. So what I did was I took this Easter basket, and it had a handle on it, but with the handle, it was too big. And so what I did was I just kind of fussy cut around the eggs and the basket and the handle. I cut the handle off. And you can't even tell if you didn't know there was no handle there. Even if you did, you can't even tell that I cut that off. And I really like that. I think it fit really well in there. I ended up adding foam tape underneath that basket as well, just to help it stand out a little bit more. And a couple of the eggs that are in that basket, I think, kind of go over the C, so it just made it look better than tucking them underneath. And I really like how that turned out. So again, do not be afraid to cut your stickers and your embellishments to help make them work for whatever you need them to work for. So here are the two pages together, and I'm just going through looking at the different embellishments and ephemera pieces that I have. I've been wanting to use this bunny. I've tried to use it in a few layouts now. I think there might be one layout that I did that I couldn't record for whatever reason, but I finally got him on this page. I wasn't sure at first because he was very dimensional, because it was one of the doodle pops. It wasn't just a sticker. And so, but he ended up going right next to that sign. I really thought he added a little something there, and it looked really cute, like he was just sitting by the sign. You can see my sheets of my ephemera pieces here, and I so far am really liking the way that that work is working out. It makes, you can see all these die cut pieces that I would have to go through over and over, and this is probably one that I wouldn't have even thought of using. And I believe it says "You crack me up," and you know, we have so much fun coloring eggs that it's just insane. And so I thought that sticker was absolutely perfect. So in that speech bubble on the left-hand side is what I am talking about. I did add this Easter sticker here, and I put it over both of the layouts, and I did go ahead and cut that one. That one didn't bother me to cut. Normally things don't bother me to cut them. Depending on if it's a photo, I won't cut through somebody's face, and I don't often like to cut somebody off completely, but it just depends on the other photos on the page. But I just didn't want to do my title, which I'm very happy I didn't do the title, because I really like the way this layout is turning out with the title on the right hand side. I added that bunny to look like he was jumping over the letters, and I think that just is really cute. So that adds a bunny around the page in a couple different places. I don't believe I add a bunny to this left-hand cluster here that I'm working on, but that's okay. I don't feel like I have to have a bunny everywhere, because I have the elements everywhere. I did put the carrots that came with that bunny doodle pop that's sitting down below. It came with those 2 carrots. So I put one on the very left-hand side and one on the very right-hand side. And it doesn't bother me that carrots have nothing really to do with these pictures. It has to do with Easter and the Easter bunny, and that's what the eggs are. So that's pretty much what I think about when I am putting this together. Is I don't really worry too much about something like that. I liked the dimension and the shininess, because those carrots, I don't know how well you can tell in the video, but those carrots have a shiny aspect to them. Just like, that's one thing Doodlebug's been doing with their doodle pops, is adding I don't know what you'd call it, some shininess to it, but some epoxy, maybe that's a good word to call it, I guess. But I really like that they've been adding that to their doodle pops. I never really used to buy their doodle pops, actually, until they started doing that. Now I feel like they're worth it more, and they're just getting cuter. So I just sprinkled some eggs around the page. Some of them were stickers, some of them were ephemera pieces, and now I'm just going with the enamel shapes and looking around at those. I have a couple little chick ones and eggs that I'm adding around. I'm adding this enamel shape. I wanted to add one over that little dot of the Easter banner, because it had, it didn't have anything there and it looked a little weird. So I added one there. Excuse me. And I'm just playing around. When I'm not sure of where I want enamel dots to go, I will use this little quick picks tool, or quick sticks. I'm not sure what it's called, but I will use that to kind of help me hold the enamel dots around, because I can see the layout a little better without my big hand in the way. And I'm going to add a little bit of extra adhesive. I have to tell you guys, I am loving this Lawn Fawn adhesive. I love my Tombow glue. It's perfect, and I will never stop using it. But this glue here is really great for just tinier little spots, and it comes out, it does, so far, knock on wood, it has not clogged on me, and it doesn't have one of those needle things that a lot of them require to not get clogged. And so it's making it really easy and quick to use if you just need a little bit of glue. The Tombow's great for bigger spots, but definitely the Lawn Fawn glue works really well for smaller things. And then I decided I would add a little bit of a cluster up here above this photo, just to kind of add something up in this space. I felt like it was a little bit empty up there, but I went ahead and, so that's why I went ahead and added that up there. And I'm just going to put some enamel shapes in that cluster also. And that is pretty much going to be my layout. So again, I apologize, there's no still photos at the end. My journaling does go, I just print it in strips and I put it above that Easter sign, and I end up moving the little cluster that's above that little Easter banner just to the right a little bit to go around my journaling. But that is my layout today, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Okay. Bye.